Beer, whiskey.
And for your friends.
Well, hello there, sweetheart. That's an awfully cute shirt you got on.
Well, thank you, mister. And what can I get you?
I'll take a shot of that there tequila, and if you don't mind, I'd like to buy you a shot as well.
Oh, that's awfully kind of you, mister. My name is Sally, and what do they call you?
My name's Earl,
Oh, it's a pleasure.
and this is Ed. You ever seen one of those, Ed?
A pair of big old titties? Hell yeah, I've seen them. Like to see a lot more of them. What do you see there, Sally?
No, I'm talking about Bigfoot.
Hell no, you idiot. There ain't no such critter as a fucking Bigfoot.
Yes, so I've seen it myself.
No way, really?
I swear on my mama, I heard tales that he's been living outside of right of town.
He does, huh? Why don't you get me another beer?
I've heard Bigfoot's over 10 feet tall.
I've heard that he's stronger than 5 men.
I've heard he disguises himself with tree branches and steals picnic baskets.
And I heard that his dick is so big.
I've heard enough of this, Bigfoot. Beer, now.
His name is El Squatcho.
What'd you say, old man?
The creature you speak of, his name is El Squatcho, and he has a story.
Well, old man, why don't you tell somebody that gives a shit?
I give a shit.
Yay! Yes, Bartholomew, let's hear it.
It all started long, long ago in the Wild West with the Colorado Rocky Mountains. An Indian princess. She would picnic every day in a beautiful meadow. She would smell all of the flowers. And she would dance and she would sing. She loved nothing more than the spending time in the meadow. She would often daydream of finding her true love, having a family, and living her happily ever after. She would channel her spirit animal, the bald eagle, and she would fly across the sky. One day, she made an exceptionally good picnic, and it smelled so good that it caught the scent of a big hungry bear. The bear followed the scent all the way to the meadow, and he attacked the Indian princess. She tried to summon her spirit animal for protection, but there wasn't enough time, and the bear, he was hungry. The bear, he was relentless. It was going to have a picnic basket or die trying.
Excuse me, but is this story about El Squatcho, or is this about dang old Yogi Bear?
Hey, boo!
Yes, my dear, but you cannot rush the legend. Just as the bear, he was about to bite the Indian princess's head off, the Sasquatch, he appeared, and he challenged the bear at mortal combat. They fought fiercely, biting and punching each other over and over. The bear had razor-sharp teeth and claws. The Sasquatch, he was big, he was strong, and he slammed the bear to the ground with a mighty bear hug. The Bigfoot, he was too much to handle, smacking the bear until the Sasquatch finished off the bear with a mighty uppercut combination. The Sasquatch hid among the trees. He had never seen such a beautiful creature before. The princess approached him and invited him to join her for what was left of her delicious meal she had made. The Indian woman, she was not scared by the Sasquatch. In fact, just the opposite. Bandito, she found the creature to be heroic and kind of sexy, I say. She was so thankful that the Bigfoot had saved her from the ferocious bear. They ate, and they got to know each other a little bit. In fact, they enjoyed each other's company so much that they continued to have picnics in the meadow, and they eventually fell in love.
You telling me a Bigfoot and an Indian princess fell in love?
Love has no limits.
Shut up, Earl.
Years went by, amigo, and they continued on with their secret love. Until one day, the big fellow, he decided to pop the question. And of course, she said yes. They were married, and they began the process of starting a family.
So they had sexual intercourse? Woo, doggy! Man.
You sure this took place in Colorado?
Life was good. The Indian princess, she gave birth to a beautiful daughter, and they moved into the best cave that acorns could possibly buy. As half Sasquatch, half Indian princess, the little girl, she loved her life, playing games. Dancing and singing joyfully. Telling jokes and laughing. Life was good. Until one day, when a traveling circus of bandito outlaws were passing by, they spotted the family. The evil circus boss, he had big plans for such an act. The bandits, they hid on top of a hill and waited for the opportunity to strike. Once the Sasquatch left to run some errands, they attacked. The Indian woman, she tried her best to protect her daughter, but the circus banditos, they were too strong. Plus, they had guns. The Sasquatch, he heard the screams and rushed back to the cave as fast as he could. When he arrived, he saw that they had shot and killed his wife, and they had kidnapped his daughter. The circus bandito outlaws, they had wiped chains around his daughter's neck, and they forced her to do tricks for beef jerky sticks. Worst of all, amigo, they left a bomb, and this bomb, it was waiting for the Sasquatch to return.
Well, that's just downright tragic, I tell you.
You telling me a Sasquatch and an Indian princess had sexual intercourse, well, that's just a dirty, dirty sin. I say it serves them right. That would have been a hoot to see them little ones dancing and such. I love beef jerky.
Well, it's a damn shame to lose your family like that. It's a pity he had to die.
Indeed it is, sir. But about that, it turns out, amigo, he survived the bomb. He was angry, he was lost in his heart, and he was heartbroken. All he felt was rage for the loss of his family. He was on a path of destruction, and hell, it was coming with him. He terrorized the Colorado and New Mexico mountains. He was killing anyone that was unlucky enough to cross his path.
Sounds like that forest monkey was a tough son of a bitch.
Word spread of the terrifying creature throughout the mountains, and a special posse was formed to bring the creature to justice.
A sheriff from Hurufuno County who was known for bringing down the biggest and baddest outlaws around, well, he stepped up, amigo. He swore to bring down the Sasquatch, dead or alive. The sheriff, he traveled on foot up and down the Rockies. The sheriff, he followed all of the clues. He left no stone unturned. He searched for weeks with no luck, and he was just about to give up hope of ever finding the peace. Then one day, a crew of evil circus bandito outlaws, they rode up on the sheriff. Recognizing him as a law dog, they cut all of the escape routes off until the sheriff, he was surrounded. Then, from out of nowhere, a mighty roar echoed across the forest, amigo. The roar, it was so loud, it scared the banditos right off of those horses. The sheriff, he took off into the trees for shelter. The banditos, they quickly gathered themselves, and they gave chase. In a stroke of blind luck, the sheriff, he tripped over a tree branch that sent him flying to the ground, and a bullet whizzed just over his head. The banditos, they hunted the sheriff, but were unaware that they were also being hunted. The Sasquatch, he picked them off one by one, using his super Sasquatch stealth powers. The sheriff, he saw his chance to escape, amigo, and he took off running. Just then, a bandito, he fired at the sheriff, causing him to fall off of a cliff. The Sasquatch, he saw the sheriff, and he ran after him. For whatever reason, the Sasquatch, he dove over the edge and grabbed the sheriff's hand in just the nick of time. He pulled the sheriff up to safety, and then bang! A bushwhacking bandito shot that Bigfoot right in the back, yo! The sheriff, he drew his iron and put a bullet through the back of that bandito's hat. But that bandito, as he was going down, he got off one last shot. And that shot, it went right through the sheriff's shoulder.
The sheriff, As gritty as he was, he took a good look around and fainted from all the excitement.
He probably fainted on account of getting a bullet to his chest.
Woo! This is getting good. I know Bigfoot ain't dead. He can't die from no measly bullet from a bushwhacker.
Right you are, cowboy. The sheriff, he awoke a few hours later to find that his wounds were dressed with leaves and special ointments.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
So Bigfoot just decides to save this fella. What makes him so special?
In Native American folklore, there is a legend that says when you save a Sasquatch, he has to serve you faithfully.
Well, I'll be damned. He got himself a 10-foot bodyguard.
Right you are, amigo.
As the sheriff, as he healed from his wounds, he became great friends with the Sasquatch, teaching him in the ways of the cowboy. He taught him how to dress like a Western gentleman and act like a man. He even taught him some sweet dance moves to impress the ladies. How to shoot a gun, and how to have the fastest draw in all of the West. Most important, he taught the Sasquatch to be brave and to have honor. In return, the Sasquatch taught the sheriff the art of stealth and surprise. As the sheriff recovered from his injuries, the time had come to return to the world of man. The time came for them to say goodbye, but they promised to see each other again one day.
True friendship. You gotta love it.
You couldn't just live there forever. Life goes on, damn it.
Indeed it does, sir.
The Sasquatch used what the sheriff had taught him, and he went on to become a vigilante. Rescuing damsels in distress, catching outlaws, and donating money to orphans, just like Robin Hood. In the back of his mind, all the Sasquatch could think about was revenge.
Fucking legends!
His wife was murdered, and his daughter, she could still be alive. The man responsible, he was still out there, laughing, murdering, kidnapping. All of this had to stop. The Sasquatch, he decided to seek revenge as the only way he knew how, El Squatcho style. He found out where the Bandito Circus was, and he set out on his quest. When El Squatcho arrived at the Bandito Circus, he stormed in with the fury of 1,000 Bigfoots. His guns blazed as he blasted round after round, letting lead and blood paint the tent walls. Bandito after bandito fell as El Squatcho made his way to the dot. El Squatcho became a beast possessed. All the fancy tricks the sheriff had taught him were on display. The circus boss, he appeared from behind a curtain. He laughed evilly as he bucked shots and his whip cracked wildly in the air. He took aim and he fired, S.A. His bullets, amigo, they flew through the air like eagles, right through the heart of the evil circus boss. At that moment, he knew that the Indian princess was with him. El Squatcho, he reunited with his daughter with a very loving embrace. And as they left, he rescued other kidnapped circus performers, including the bearded lady. The crowd, they cheered as they have never seen such a display of marksmanship from either man nor beast. And they all rode off into the sunset.
And that, my amigo, is the legend of El Squatcho.
Wow, that was a hell of a story, old man.
That Indian princess was such a legend. Until she got shot. That Sasquatch.
That sounds like a load of bullshit. I say if I ever seen one of them oversized hairballs, I'd put a bullet in them. Make me an oversized rug and roll around naked on it. How's that sound to you, Sally Sweet Cheeks?
Yeehaw!
More tequila, please, miss.
You son of a bitch!